Hi everyone, and welcome back to As They Grow Up. This is Samantha, and today I'm excited to share with you our recent library book haul, so stay tuned. So I know what you may be thinking, library, what? People still go to the library? Actually, all you homeschool mamas know that we do utilize the library a lot. We have books on every wall in our house, but my boys still love going to the library, and it never fails. Every time we go, we find books that we have not read, and we find books that we simply fall in love with. And the ones that we really fall in love with, I end up writing it down. I keep an eye out for it. If I can catch it at a discount price, I'll buy it. If not, then I'll usually order it for them if they really, really loved it. So I want to share with you some of our books that you might want to check out for your family. And I'm going to start with this one, and we have a bag we keep our books in, and I'm telling you, I still end up having to go and search for our books at Library Day because I can never find them. What a Naughty Bird. Oh my goodness, this book is so funny. I'm not even kidding. It is by Sharon Taylor, and this is one, normally Luke doesn't open them up in the library. He'll just, the cover will catch his eye or something like that, and he'll check it out. And so when he checks out books, with him still being in picture books and stuff, he'll check out like huge amounts of books. So we'll try to go every week because we read a lot in our house. And this book is so funny. You have this little bird, and he's talking about being a naughty bird, and he's like, oh, well, you know, what do you do when you spot a big bull? Well, you go and you poop on its head, you know, naughty bird. And he goes through the whole book like this, and it is just so fun. You know, he does it with the elephant and the fox and the people. I don't know about you, but I can count probably on one hand how many times I've had a bird poop on me. It's never fun. It's amazing. It always happens to me. They like, oh, there's that lady. So it's happened at the beach. It's happened at home. It's happened walking through the yard. So I don't know. I think they just look for me. But see, at the end, the bird had pooped on the bear. Well, the bear turns around and decides to poop on the bird. I know it's a weird thing for a book. Luke hears me talking about this book. Tell him how much you love this book, Luke. It is so funny. It's definitely a boy book. You like this book? Yeah, they can't see you. I've got you probably zoomed in. So you like this one? This is one of your favorites? Yeah, this one is a good one. It is. And then up next we have, This Is Not My Hat. See, he's coming back. He knows these are some good books. And this is a little fish, and it starts out, I wasn't keen on how it started out because he stole a hat, and I'm like, well, maybe we shouldn't talk about stealing. So anyway, this is the big fish, and the little fish steals the big fish's hat and says, well, the big fish won't find me. But the thing is as the little fish, where's that at? As the little fish swims, of course he has the little air bubbles, and as you look, the big fish has got this look like, geez, you know, I'm going to have to go look for my hat. And as he goes, you know, he's pointed in the direction of the little fish. And at the end, the little fish goes into the trees. The big fish goes in behind him. And they stay gone. And then, at the end, we see big fish with a hat. We never hear anything else about little fish. So you can use your imagination on what happened to little fish. Me and Link think that big fish must have ate him. But that's just our saying. We don't know. We just assume. So you can definitely use your imagination. And this one is This Is Not My Hat by Jon Klassen. It's really cute. So this was one that we liked. Another one, also by the same author, is We Found a Hat. And once again, it's around the hat, and it's so cute. These two little turtles find a hat, and they don't, and what it is they don't want just one to have a hat. They both want the hat. And so they decide to leave the hat where it is. Well, this one little turtle just cannot get this hat off of his mind. And he's waiting for his friend to fall asleep because he wants to go get the hat. And his friend's telling him about him dreaming that they both have a hat. And so as he's starting to walk to get his hat, when his friend starts telling him his dream, he turns around and leaves the hat. So he decided that if his friend couldn't have the hat, then he wouldn't have it either. And this was his friend's dream, where they both have a hat and they're both going through space. I don't know. But this one is We Found a Hat. It's really cute. It's funny. Luke really liked that one as well. And I think this one even caught Davis's attention, because a lot of times Davis is getting to the point where the picture books don't really pull him in. And I don't know why. I love picture books, but even at my age, I love children's books. This one was really cute. We liked it. This one was so cool. This is called The Grand Old Tree. And it's similar to one book that I have, something about an oak tree. I think it's an oak tree. And it's talking about how the one grand tree grows, and over time it grows and grows, and it sees all the world changing, and its roots reach to the ground, and you know, all the animals and nature that enjoy this grand tree, and it has babies. And it just talks about how over time, it eventually is going to die. And after all of its seasons, it dies. But that's okay. When it died, it then became a home for the animals still. It was still used. And then it made its way back into the ground. You know, and still today, the roots of her grandchildren are still there. So it was a really cool book. We really loved this one. It was one of those that just like, it wasn't funny, but it was touching, I guess you could say. And it was really cute. Once again, you're going to get tired of me saying this. We really like this one. Now, I will say, he did not love it as much as he loved the poop one. But he really liked this one too. We've read this one twice so far. And this was actually one that he was able to read to me some as well. So it was written in a way that he could read it too. Next up, I had heard recommendations on this book. And I thought about buying it, and I didn't. Couldn't find it. It was out of print. So I've been keeping my eye out for a used one, and then I ran across it in the library, and I thought, you know what, before I buy it without knowing really what to expect, I had recommendations and I was told it was good, but I'd never seen the inside of it. Oh my goodness, I love this house, this book, this house. The Little House. This is by Virginia Lee Burton, and it is about a little house that is built, and it just talks about how it wants to grow and see. Well, for example, once upon a time there was a little house way out in the country. She was a pretty little house, and she was strong and well built. And the man who built her said that she would never be sold, that she would never be sold for gold or silver, and that she would live to see his great-great-grandchildren. Well, as we all know, the world changes, and towns grow, and cities grow, and I know I would like to think that ours will not, and it may eventually. But because we live out in the country, but the little house had lived out in the country, and she had seen the sunrises and the sunsets and the seasons change and her people grow, and you know, she would just look out, but she always wondered what was in the city. And then one day they came and they started building roads, and then of course cars started going by, and then there was more houses, which was once on her green fields. And then she was surrounded by city lights and city buildings and subways and railways and all this stuff. So she was kind of sad. No one lived in her. She had been just kind of put aside. And then one day somebody walked by and they fell in love with the little house. And then they got to looking back in the pictures and realized that it was a house that her great-great-grandfather had owned. So they took the little house and they picked her up and they found the perfect spot in the country to move the little house where they lived, and they loved her forever. And once again, this was just one of those really touching books that it makes you stop and think that, you know, everything changes in the world. And you know, while he originally built the house for his great-great-grandchildren, it was kind of pushed back and forgotten until the one discovered it, and as the city grew around the little house. But she was eventually moved back out into the country, and she was happy, and she never ever wanted to see the city lights again. I can't really blame her. I prefer the country. Next up was, if you like Pete, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Pete the Cat. But this was Pete the Cat and his 4 Groovy buttons, and it was really fun. And you know, as usual with Pete the Cat, you have your little songs that you can sing. But this one was really fun too. We had never read this one before. We have several Pete the Cat books. We didn't have this one. And as we read, because Pete the Cat loses buttons, there's math problems. So, oh no, he lost a button. And then 4 take away 1 is 3. So throughout the book, Pete does math with the buttons that he loses, and so it's really neat. This was a cute book. I really like that it did his subtraction, which was what we're on, so that was fun. You're Not a Cat. This book is by Sharon G. Flake, and this one was funny. This is about a duck who thinks it's a cat, and so it meows and it does this and that, and the cat is like, "You are not a cat, you are a duck, you go quack quack." And while the cat is trying to get this through the duck, you see the other animals in the background laughing, and the duck is like, "No, I'm a cat. I'm a cat." And you know, and he's starting to get frustrated, and he's like, "No, look, you're a duck. You see, these are your people up there." And no, meow, you know, "Hey, I'm a cat." And so the cat keeps on, and you can see the little friends here laughing because he's not listening. And as it goes, and what is so funny is, you know, he tries to shoo him away, and he doesn't go. And so then the bird says, I'm a parrot. And the cat starts, "No, you're not a parrot." And he says, "Yesterday I was a squirrel. Last week I was a rooster." You know, and he keeps on and on and on. And the cat says, "Okay, fine. What are you going to be tomorrow?" "Moo." So this was a really cute book. We loved it. We laughed. And it was one that we have read probably 4 or 5 times already this week. And it's not quite Tuesday yet. So we got this on Tuesday. And we've already read it. And so a few times, you could say. We read, like I said, we read a lot. And then Max at Night. Now, Max at Night, I had not read this one. That's why we checked it out. But we have the other book called Max something. Anyway, Max the Brave. And if you've never checked out Ed Vere's books, they are so cute. Max the Brave is one of my favorites. We have read that one so far today 3 times, and I'm not even joking. 3 times. It was pulled up, and it was pulled off of our bookshelf because Luke had checked out this one, and we had got Max the Brave a couple years ago, and he's always loved it. And then we found this one, so I'm not sure which one was created first. I really couldn't tell you. I didn't even check to see when the publishing date on this one was, but basically you have your little cat, and his name's Max, and Max wants to tell everybody good night before he goes to bed. And he does, except he can't find the moon, and so he ventures out to try to find the moon. And this is a typical Max. Now, Max in Max the Brave is looking for a mouse. So this is very typical of Max. So he stops and asks everyone if they have seen the moon and where the moon might be. And then he finds the moon and tells it goodnight. And he sleepily goes back home. And the moon tells him that he can tell him goodnight even at home, and he'll hear him. But it's a really cute book. Like I said, we have Max the Brave. And this is Max at Night. Both cute. If I had to pick my favorite, it would be Max the Brave. It's funnier, but they're both really cute. And that was it. That is our library haul. Davis didn't get any different books this time. He actually just walked away with Diary of a Wimpy Kid, number 8. Normally I buy them, and we have bought them up through... He had up through 7 bought up, and then Christmas he got 9 and 10. So he needs 8 and 11. So he was at the library because I forgot to order it, and he had finished number 7. So he was lucky enough to find number 8 there, so he checked it out. So I still got to order him number 8. And so that's all he checked out, because he knows he'll finish it by, I mean, we have 2 weeks to return the library books, but I mean, Luke's already read these things numerous times, so we'll probably go back on Tuesday and change. If he's finished it, fine. If not, fine. But I'm pretty sure Dave's going to be finished with his, because he kind of flies right by Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But that is it. That is our books this month. And well, yeah, this week. And we loved them. We loved every one of these. So next time you're at your library, look these up and check them out. If I can find the links to some of these, I will put them down in the description, so you can, if you wanted to check them out, that way you'd have the name of the book and the author if you look those up. But they're really cute, so thank you guys, and have a wonderful day.